Hey, happy September to you all. I get asked a lot, like, what do you actually do at LearningRx? How are you different than tutoring, like school interventions or places like Sylvan or Huntington or Mathnasium or Kumon? So I'm just going to explain that here really quickly for you. So the biggest difference is those places I mentioned are tutoring centers, right? So the typical strategy if a child struggles academically, reading, math, organizational issues, attention, is to do tutoring or more school. So outside tutoring services, school interventions, things like that. That's not what we do at LearningRx. We are what's called a cognitive skills training center. The reason we focus there is our goal is to get to the root cause as to why a child struggles in the first place. Because tutoring can help, but usually it's more treating the symptom, never getting at why is there even an issue, right? So when we talk about cognitive skills, these are the skills we train, right? They're the skills that make up our IQ. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples related to reading and math that kind of explain how we differ from traditional approaches. So from a reading perspective, when students struggle with reading, the typical strategy is to do more reading more at home, reading and getting pulled out for reading help in school where you're doing more reading or going to outside tutoring to do more reading. That consistency and the practice helps, but none of that's addressing the root cause as to why a child struggles with reading in the first place, which is usually a combination of weaknesses in long-term memory, visual processing, and auditory processing. Long-term memory and visual processing are critical for word recognition. 60% of our language are non-phonetic words like laugh. Well, how do you know that? It makes zero sense. We have to remember it. And if memory's not strong, that's difficult. Sight words are difficult when kids are younger. Auditory processing is our mind's ability to process auditory information. It's also called phonemic awareness. So that natural inclination to know how to blend sounds, how to put sounds together. If those skills are lacking, reading's a struggle. We average a 3.5-year gain in reading achievement for the average 10-year-old, which is a huge jump. The reason we get such big jumps is because we're removing the obstacles as to why reading's hard in the first place. Math, for example, let's say a child struggles to remember math facts or multiplication tables. Typical strategy is let's just do tons of tutoring or extra work on memorizing. Again, not a bad thing to do, but what's happening is you're not really understanding, well, why is this an issue in the first place? Often it can be long-term memory being low or processing speed where it's there but they can't recall it fast enough. So maybe the tutoring helps them understand math facts or retain it, but then next year they'll forget homework, they'll struggle with test taking and things like that because long-term memory and processing are low. So basically what we do at LearningRx is address the root cause of the struggle. The other difference is the gains our clients achieve are long-lasting. So we're not, so basically when you strengthen cognitive skills, we're changing the way the brain's functioning, and that stays with the child, typically, throughout life, potentially going forward. So big differences between what we do and what tutoring does. If you're looking for help this time of year, we can absolutely help get your child on the right path so everything going forward is stronger. And you can kind of get them out of this constant, just trying to tread water, homework difficulty and struggles, and the frustration all of that brings. So hope this helps. Thanks.